This next comic coming up is not only one of my favorite comics, not only does he have bits that I quote monthly, if not weekly.
Can you undersell me a little bit more?
He's a piece of shit. I've caught him looking at me while I change my clothes. Would you like me to say nice things now? The things that I actually believe? No, this guy runs South City Comedy Series and in St. Louis. He is a good friend of mine. He's one of the funniest human beings I know. He's one of my favorite comics. And I really, really want you guys to put a lot of energy because he's also closing out your night. Guys, give it up for the sweet Tommy Brown.
Way oversold. Way oversold. How's it going, folks? Woo! Woo! This is fun. Thank you, Larry, for having me tonight here. This is, I'll just get right to the, I love Larry. I've loved this guy since the day I met him. Honestly, the first time I saw him, though, I was like, oh, I was at like some weird like comedy contest at a bar in Highland, Illinois. If you don't know where Highland, Illinois is, that's cool. I don't know either, and I've been there. First look at this, and I'm like, oh, fuck. I guess I can't wait to hear his opinion on the blacks. And then it turns out, like, by the end of the night, I'm like, I think I've met my new best friend. This guy's fucking awesome. Holy shit. Man, fuck. Let's get into it. I turned 40 this year. Woo! Woo, yeah. Something you should know about me before we get into all this. As a 40-year-old man, I love taking baths. Woo! Yeah, picture that, ladies and dudes. I love taking baths, and that's something my family knows about me. So for my 40th birthday, I got a lot of gifts that involved like bath-related items. My mom was very thoughtful and got me this cool tub spa thing. It's this little pad that shoots water bubbles out like a white trash jacuzzi. It's fucking great. I love it. I love like putting that in the bath and just like drinking a bunch of wine, listening to some tunes, just fucking just forgetting everything that sucks. It's great. And then my wife, she got me a toaster. Four slice toaster, yeah. By the way, the men's room downstairs has the number for the suicide hotline, so in case anyone's feeling sad tonight, the information is down there and available. Man, another thing about turning 40, I found that I am getting way into movies about Winston Churchill. Any other church heads out there? Yeah, it's the speeches, man. It's the speeches that get me, because generally the man himself is a racist piece of shit, but he got the Nazi suck part down pretty good, so I give him a slight pass. Yeah. So I find myself searching for more and more and more movies about Winston Churchill because I can't get enough, and then it happened. You know what it is, right? You could just assume by the powers of the internet. That's right, the Winston Churchill porno parody. That exists for some god-awful reason. Things that make you go... That's just the wind sailing through his fat. Fuck. No one wants to see that shit, but I want to hear it. I want to hear Winston Churchill porno dialogue. You do too. We shall fuck them in the beaches. We shall fuck them in the sands. We shall fuck them in the fields. We shall fuck them in the arse. We shall never use our safe word. I'm getting paid in beer tonight, so let's buckle up. Let's see how this goes. So we finally got the Speaker of the House. Woo! Speaker Johnson. It's an appropriate name because he seems like a giant prick. For a little guy, So Something that I found interesting about him back in 2003, he wrote an amicus brief to the Supreme Court against gay sex. Not gay marriage, gay sex. Wanted to keep that illegal everywhere. But honestly, I kind of got some of his reasoning. Made his butt hurt. At least I gotta understand where he's coming from on that one. We got that old constitutional crisis from our friend Matt Gaetz. We know who Matt Gaetz is, right? That's good. I'm glad there weren't woos. Congressman from Florida. But interesting fun fact about Matt Gaetz. He used to be fat. Like, really fat. Fatter than me fat. I can say that because I'm fat. Yeah. Yeah. But he did that thing that Subway Jared did. And fucked a bunch of kids. Allegedly. I'm glad some of you knew what the punchline was going to be before I said it. That's pretty cool. But yeah, politics is weird because there's a lot of positions that we elect that are real skilled jobs that you need to have skills for, and we're letting that up to the two-party system. I live in St. Louis, where we had a city prosecutor who was bad at her job. Just incredibly, she had to resign in disgrace bad. And I voted for her twice. I regret that. I've met her, and I was like, oh, she seemed nice that time I met her. Oops. That's prosecutor's a skilled job. You have to be a lawyer for that. You just can't be any asshole off the street like, I'm going to prosecute crimes. No. You got to have a law degree. You got to actually be able to manage an office. You got to do shit. Real shit. And there's another job in parts of Missouri where I live that is also a skilled job that is left to the two-party electoral system. That is coroner. Yeah. You know, coroner. The guy who figures out how people died. Has stuff to say on your death certificate. Your last word, you're basically, yeah. There's no Democratic way to be a coroner. There's no Republican way to be a coroner. How the fuck is Jim Bob, and you know which party I'm talking about when I say Jim Bob, gonna push himself as coroner? Get up on the stump. I'm gonna use this stump. People of Bullshit County, I'm gonna be your first pro-life coroner. How the fuck does that work? It doesn't. That's how. Our system is fucked. Man. Oh man, Larry's talking about moving to Chicago. I used to live there. Don't. Talk about getting Chicago drunk. I know about Chicago drunk. My second night there, man, fuck. I got fucked up with a bunch of college friends, and I had to take the L home, but I didn't know where the stops were yet. So I was just like, fuck it, I'll walk under the tracks. See where that takes me. How was I not murdered and raped by a homeless guy? How am I still alive screaming at you tonight? I'm screaming a lot. I'm a couple beers in. It's great. They make a really fine product here at Buzz Bomb. You get buzzed and you get bombed. About a year later, some friends of mine, also from college, see a pattern. I went to Northern Michigan University. It wasn't a party school. It was a drinking school. All right. We learned how to get fucked up pretty good. And these guys came in. They learned I like Scotch. That was a new thing for me. I love Scotch. I don't know why I still love Scotch after that, but I do. Because they kept buying me Scotch. $150 worth of Scotch. All I know is I've been told I was kicked out of one bar. I was like, I can make my way home. The first bar we went to was a block from my apartment. The other one was a little further away. I figure I was still one L stop away from home. I'm good. All I know is the next thing I remember is looking up at we used to be called Kaminsky, now it's US Cell Phone or Fun Times Field, I don't fucking know. I live north of Wrigley Field, if you know Chicago geography. That was a long fucking train ride. All I know is I was waiting for another 45 minutes for the next train to go back north. think I'm just calling people, I'm going to die, I'm going to die, I'm going to die, I'm going to die, I'm going to die. I went on a date the next day to go see Star Trek. There was not enough Gatorade to make that a good date. I think she's a lesbian now. Don't know because of me or she finally discovered her true self. Maybe a combination of the two, I don't know. I saw this video online. So a young man was asked a question. Would you suck a dick for $100 million? And his answer was, nah. Fucking ask me that question. The answer isn't if, but how many dicks I would suck for $100 million. That shit is generational wealth. That blowjob would be my last job. Next time you see me, I'm gonna be chilling on a beach somewhere with like a little drink with an umbrella on it, living my best life. Waiter's gonna come shuffling up to me like, man, my job sucks dick. And I'm gonna be like, funny story. My last one did too. This guy's like, he went on. He continued his reasoning. You know, like, oh man, my family might find out how I made that money. Like, fuck yeah. You know, my family's gonna find out how I made that money because I'm gonna fucking tell them. All right, listen up, fam. So that's how I got all the money. I was in this room with a bunch of rich white dudes. Imagine the end of Requiem for a Dream. Or that Tom Cruise movie, the super erotic one with all the masks. No, Top Gun. I mean, it's just like that. And if any of them have a problem with it, Aunt Joan, you're out the will. I'm a generous man, but homophobia ain't cool. I'm not gay. I just sucked a dick for $100 million. There's nothing gay about that. I'm just a hard worker. Know the value of a dollar, and I mean, shit, inflation, right? But that's a ridiculous scenario. I mean, who the fuck is offering $100 million for a single, solitary, toothy-ass blowjob? I'm sorry, it's probably gonna be a little toothy. I've never sucked a dick before. I mean, I've had some dreams where I'm like really good at sucking dick. Which I should maybe talk to a shrink about. I mean, I'm in a committed heterosexual relationship and I have no want to suck it. But in those dreams, I was fucking good. I was like, oh, I'm all over that shit. Really good at it. You gotta be thinking, who the fuck is offering $100 million for? I mean, that kind of wealth where you can afford that. I mean, no one's that dumb to make that much money. No one's had to force other people to, their blood, sweat, and tears so you can have that money to just blow it like that. That's rude to those people. It's rude. So obviously the answer is Elon Musk. Elon Musk is the guy paying $100 million for shitty blowjobs. And he got on fucking Twitter and X. It's out X now. Like, X gonna give it to you like DMX the 90s. He's gonna get on there like, just paid $100 million for a super toothy blowjob. Pwned it. And yeah, I know he sounds like Donald Trump, but he's basically the same fucking guy. I mean, come on. The only reason he's rich is because they're dad. Racist dads. But my point is, Elon, if you're out here, Campbell, Springfield, Missouri, or Illinois tonight, fuck Elon Musk. Woo! But Elon, suck your dick for $100 million. That's a certified checker money order. I'm no sucker, I'll suck, but I'm no sucker, So, I'm saying. I took a really fun vacation with my wife right before the pandemic to New York. It was literally right before. We were reading about it, in shit in China and Japan while we were there. Like, oh, that sounds bad. It doesn't happen here. Oops. But it was a fun trip. But at one point, there was this thing that happened to us while we were there. And the best way to describe it is like a super hacky 1980s stand-up comic bit. But I don't, in my head, I don't want to be a hack. I'm a fucking hack. You've seen everything I've done tonight. We know. We know. But I figured out with a friend of mine, I could do this as a bit. I could do this as a character. So for the next couple minutes, I'm no longer going to be Tom Brown, your favorite comic of the night. But Zany Davy, 1980s not star. You may have seen him on A&E's Night at the Improv. Just imagine, use your mind's eye, imagine this is a brick wall. I'm going to turn around for a couple seconds. I'm going to get around a character. I turn around, no longer Tom Brown, but Zany Davy. Zany Davy, right? Just get turn around, get in character. Just character work. And I'm wearing a members only jacket, so I'm really into it. So, I'm in New York City with my wife, going to see a Broadway play. And what should happen? I get stuck between a bunch of Hare Krishnas and Scientologists. What's that about? Okay. Piano ties. It's like a piano with the keys on it, but it makes no music. What's that about? Star Wars, it's a movie, but also Reagan's failed space weapons experiments. What's that a pew pew about? Okay. We're gonna get a little controversial, a little racial. White people are like this, black people are like that. What's that about? Okay, maybe talk about relationship. We got some couples in the crowd tonight. We got some couples talking about relationships. I am an Aries, but my wife says I am a Cancer. What's that about? My kids tell me they enjoy playing with their Uncle Steve. I don't have a brother Steve. What is that about? My wife has left me for a guy named Steve. What was that about? My kids don't look me in the eye anymore when we talk. I don't think they respect me anymore. What was that about? Does anybody have any drugs I can crush up and shove up my ass till I die? What's that about? Bill Cosby, America's favorite TV dad. What's that about? Hey! And that is Zany Davy. Glad y'all like that. It's normally just the comics like that, but y'all liked it tonight, so thank you. But in general, the one thing about trying to be a stand-up comedian is like one of the things that you need to do is be relatable, and I do not. You've heard everything I've said tonight. I am not relatable. I mean, I mentioned my wife wants to kill me with a toaster, but we're actually in a pretty solid, good relationship. So I don't have like, oh, my wife played well. I don't really have any of that material. And it's been like over 14 years since I've dated other people. But I mean, we've all had breakups, right? We've all had a really fucked up breakup, right? We all have the breakup, right? Yeah, that's a yes. It was my first break. I didn't date in high school at all because this, but smaller, and no beard. It was not great. But someone in college, my freshman into sophomore year, we dated. My parents hated her. I wish you told me that earlier. Dated for a while, and then we had some big fight, and I marched up to her Like, we're through, we're done. This is over. She's like, no, it's not. That's not how breakups work. I'm still with her to this day. No, that's not true. We are definitely broken up. We are friends on Facebook, but we are broken up. Facebook wasn't a thing then, so I don't know why that happened. She's like, no. She's like, no. It wasn't even MySpace yet. It wasn't even Friendster, motherfucker. All right. She's like, but her reaction was like, no, we're not. Like, what? First you have to talk to Muzz, and they'll talk to me, and then we'll see. I gotta bring another fucking dude into this named Muzz? Who's a friend of ours, yeah. He was like the alpha of our beta group. Bunch of nerds. But he was the philosophy major, so we figured he knew what he was talking about. Didn't. But anyway, just to rewind a little bit, the fight the night before, earlier in the day, she said something to the effect of, and this might make me the bad guy, I don't know, maybe, I don't care. She said, I think I'd look cute with my head shaved. Oh. And I said, I think we'd look broken up with your head shaved. Granted, I had one foot out the door at this point. I was looking for excuses, but I didn't think about it. I went to go with my college improv group to do our little make-em-ups. And then she just sat there and stewed for 6 hours. I got a knock on my door from my buddy Seth, who's like, Tom, avoid her. She is pissed. I don't know why. I'm like, it's midnight and I want to go to sleep, so this probably is. He closed, click. 3 minutes later, bam, 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 bam. You son of a bitch, you fucking misogynist piece of shit. And I just yelled back too, and my neighbors thought I was being arrested for drugs. That's what they actually told me. Like, I don't do drugs. Why do you think that? Well, you seem like it. But anyway, so I had the conversation with my friend Muzz. Let's bring it back to that. He's like, well, it's very mature of you, actually, your reasoning. What my reasoning was, I don't like this person anymore. I don't like to not have sex with them anymore either. I'm a guy who probably can't be picky. So we have this conversation. We talk. And I'm not a I don't want to just straight up say, I fucking hate you, you psycho. Get back on your fucking meds. But she got me to say, an open relationship. Yeah, that sounds like what I want. I mean, I did want to have sex with other people, just not her anymore. So we parted ways at that. And then on the morning of September 11th, 2002, so we know, not that 9/11, it's on 9/11. I got an email on my Hotmail account. To be specific, my the_o_the_man69 at hotmail.com. Tom, you misogynist pig. How could you ever think I would be in an open relationship? We're through. Like, all I know is I fucking won. We broke up. She came up to me that day like, I'm like, I got what I wanted. Stop being smart. There's not a good out to that bit. There's just really not. Me trying to be relatable. Was that relatable to anyone here? All right. She was like, I talked someone into an open relationship and dumped them the next day. That was relatable to me. Yeah. Man, I saw this thing in the news, and by the news I mean TikTok. It was about the Ukraine war, so might get a little serious. You've seen me so far, it's not that serious. The Russians claim to have found audio of American special forces operating inside Ukraine, which would be like, a massive escalation. We'd be in World War III right now if that shit was true, right? But I heard the audio. It's a little sus, as the kids would say. Hey, Sergey, I mean, Steve. We are American special forces operating in Ukraine, and we are so afraid of the Russians with their big penises. Oh no, can't wait to go back home to America, home of Babe Ruth, apple pie, Marilyn Monroe. Nice gams. And then we'll, go the American women with their big American breasts. We're two wild and crazy guys. Very nice. I don't think that was legitimate. I have some suspicions about that. A lot of my premises and setups, unfortunately, are like shit I saw on the internet because I had a lot of time earlier this year. End of last year, I lost my job. Oof, yeah, I know. So I had a lot of free time. I watched a lot of videos. But yeah, it was a hard time being a first grade critical race theory teacher in Missouri. Not great. But actually, I have found a new job, and I'm leaving the Midwest. I'm moving to Florida, where I'm going to be a pre-K LGBTQIA plus history teacher. I think it's going to go pretty well. Knowing what I know about Florida and that Ron DeSantis, it's obviously a joke. No one would let me teach children. Also, no matter what Fox News tells you, there are no first grade critical race theory teachers. That's not a fucking thing. High-end law class thing, so. I'm doing this next joke because Larry loves it. Yay! So he mentioned I live in St. Louis. That's where I live now. Okay, great. No reaction. That's perfect. Fuck it. It's St. Louis. Go Cards. Go Cards and T-Rabs. But the pizza can suck my dick. Yay! After it's cooled down a little bit. Provel is an STD. But I will say this: St. Louis it's number one at murder and STDs. Pretty soon the city slogan is going to be St. Louis, fuck me or fight me. Either way, it's going to be bloody. At least we laugh at that. Some people are like, oh.
Thank you, Nelly.
Yeah, it's all Nelly. It's all fucking Nelly. Yeah. Fuck. And I don't know what we're going to do about like all the murder. I mean, we could get rid of the guns, but it's Missouri, so that's not fucking going to happen anytime soon. We'll get more. We'll get a gun that shoots guns. Fuck. No, we'll get a gun that shoots that gun. Fuck. More guns. But the STD thing we could probably do something about just on our own. But there's too many dudes out there. It's like, man, condoms don't feel as good. Doesn't feel as good. Babies at 3 a.m. And herpes. And you can't abort herpes. Fuck, pro-herpy crowd? Every herpes sacred. Every herpes deserves a chance. Save their herpes, save their herpes. And unfortunately, since the Supreme Court, we can't abort the other thing either. Things have changed. Honestly, we're actually no longer number one in STDs. It's Baltimore now, since I wrote that joke. Which makes a lot of sense. They're known for their craps. Yeah. Oh man, I'm gonna move this back a little bit because I'm gonna get more animated. But I'm talking about some problems we have in the world, right? There's problems in the world, but you know what? Honestly, 2023 is still probably the best time to be alive in human history. All right, this is pretty fucking great times. I mean, fuck. Just think about all the technology we have. Who here has like a smartphone? Everyone's got a smartphone. It's an amazing piece of technology. It's like basically a little computer that we put in our pockets. And it's hundreds, if not thousands of times more powerful than the computers that took the astronauts to the moon on Apollo 11. Wow, think about that. Just think about that. Just Imagine being Neil Armstrong on your way to the moon. And how long it took his porn to buffer. He's up there for 4 or 5 days straight. He's got nothing better to do. He's like, come on, titty, want to see a titty? Why is it no titty? Come on, titty. Not come on, titty, but come on, titty. I want to see a titty. Joke's on him. And even if he could have downloaded that titty, you can't get a boner in space. What? Oh, Space Camp Dreams busted, yo. Yeah. The lack of gravity prevents the blood flow from that head to that head. It just won't work. Unless you got super high blood pressure, and they ain't putting you on a rocket. There's no flight surgeon that lets you on the fucking. It's not going to happen. When they landed on the moon, it took them 11 hours to go on their first moonwalk. Now, if it's me, Tom Brown, I am not waiting no 11 hours. 5 minutes after touchdown, so it's going to be like, all right, one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind. Woo! Fly Plan American space fireworks, yeah! Woo! USA! 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 Chant it with me, guys. Come on, you love America. USA! 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 Hey, Soviet Union, suck up my big fat American balls from space! Yeah! Suck it, Brezhnev. That is Tom Brown landing on the moon. But no, they waited 11 hours. They waited 11 hours, and I got a theory. Earlier, I mentioned that on the moon, or in space, there is zero gravity. But on the moon, there is 1/5 gravity. Not a lot of math majors out there. On the moon, there is 1/5 gravity. Beep, boop, beep, beep, boop, boop. By my space math, that's 1/5 an erection. And guys, if you haven't been able to get one in 5 days, that's all you need. About to make history for all mankind. Hey, Neil? Yeah, Buzz? Look down. Space boners. Houston, we have a problem. Can't seem to get the hatch open. We're going to try to maybe jiggle around a little bit. We're going to try to jerk it off. Jack it off. Yeah, that's right.
Jack it off.
Yeah, that's right. We're American heroes, one and all, Dan. We're going to get this thing open one way or the other. We will walk on the moon. So, you're welcome. So they're up there, getting their moon rocks off, thinking about Tang. The drink they would rehydrate themselves after all that masturbation. Then they hear on the radio Michael Collins, the third member of Apollo 11 mission. Who here remembers Michael Collins? Anyone?
Yeah.
You do. You look like you would. That's fine, but at least someone does. Congratulations. You're fucking student history right here. Michael Collins was the third member of the Apollo 11 mission, but he's forgotten because he's the guy who had to be up at the command module. He didn't get to land. He just had to make sure his buddies got home. I mean, he was so committed to it, he was going to stay up there and die if they died. And he had a family back on Earth. He was like, fuck that shit, I'm going to stay with my buds. Make sure they get home. If they don't, I don't. I mean, at least he said that. I don't know. I'd fucking go home. Fuck those guys. I got to land what I did. Fuck. So, but he is a better person than I. He's checking on his buddies, his pals, his amigos. Guys! What are you doing down there, guys? Shut up, Michael Collins. We're doing real hero astronaut stuff down here. Oh, real funny, real mature. And then he, the guys down there left their microphones on, so Michael Collins could hear in stereo at that point. It's two of them. Oh my God, guys, that's sick, disgusting, and gross. You know I can't do that for the 4 days, fine, because we gotta meet Nixon first, and he's a total boner killer. Screw you guys. Now, we have had a very great lineup of comics tonight. It was hard to follow these guys. And a lot of comics think that impressions are hacky, but that might be true. But that's the best goddamn Michael Collins impression you are ever going to hear. indeed. I got one. I guess I got time for one more joke.
Do whatever you want, Tom.
I got one more joke. But I was just making sure I didn't go super short. I can't tell time up here. I mean, it's alcohol plus y'all have been great. Y'all have been great. Thank you so much. Can't say enough about Springfield. You always treat me very well. Thank you so much. Thank you. I saw this again. I'm going to lead off with. I saw this video online, but I saw this video online, and a young man, a Gen Z type, a Zennial, I think they're called, because that's a shitty name, and I'm sorry that my millennial generation probably gave it to them, because we were once called Gen Y. Gen Y because X was taken. Young Zennial type was on. I'm so close to Gen X. I swear it was a much better. That was the coolest name ever. It really fucking was. But I'm a millennial, and it's what it is. But this Gen Z type, this guy was like discovered that there is an original version of the Black Eyed Peas song. Let's Get It Started. He had a copy of the CD, just raises it slowly to the screen, and it says it in full glory. Let's get it R-worded in here. Yeah, that was a top 40 song. That was on the terrestrial radio, not satellite, terrestrial radio, where they don't allow much shit to be said on. But there it was, a top 40 hit. And then he was like, I can't believe they released this version first. Doesn't even flow as well. I think he's right. I don't think it flows as well as Let's Get It Started. Let's Get It Started is the superior version. Honestly, the best version is the Craig Robinson, the movie Hot Tub Time Machine. Yeah. You know that movie fucking slaps. Fucking love that shit. But then he made the following comparison. It's like that CeeLo Green song, Forget You, where he had a version where he used the F word. And it doesn't flow as well. Fuck you, it doesn't flow as well. I know one thing and one thing only about that kid. He has never known, nor will ever know love. No one who's had heartbreak and loss and their heart ripped from their chest, Temple of Doom style, thrown on the ground and punted, has ever been like, see you driving around with my girl around town, and I'm like, forget you. No! If you've had heartbreak and loss, the song sounds more like, I see you driving around with my girl around town, I'm like, fuck you and fuck her too. I'll be both die and drive off a cliff. This is city half cliffs. Thank you, I've been Tom Brown. Y'all have a good night. Let's get crazy.